We got 3 different sites in St. John. There's one in
I just talked to somebody.
in North End, Somerset Acres.
I just talked to somebody.
I'm talking to lots of people.
I just talked to somebody that came out with a good point. You have the 12, you have the tiny homes, and there are people with issues, drugs or whatever, and their next door neighbor is the PM Bridge.
I thought of that too. Anyways, I'm trying to get an open discussion going here. So.
Is there a way for the government to save money?
Neighborhood, right? We've done the door knocking in the community.
I like my story much better.
So do that work.
Maybe I could ask
Get
him.
perspective tonight, and then be able to reshape the project as we need to make sure it fits best for the community.
Why do I get involved in these things? I'm sorry.
Because, to situate sort of where I'm at, I'm quite a fan of homelessness. I'm quite a fan of the idea of addressing the problem of homelessness at a grassroots level. There is such tremendous potential here for a black eye. The instant that there's a dirty needle on the playground, or I think it's hepatitis, public opinion is going to be irrevocably against this project. That seems so dangerous. Are you guys considering what's the plan there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so like that's why the outreach teams are here, right? So like they're part of the plan is to make sure that community outreach is a consistent part of it, right? Whether it be through security presence, whatever that looks like, we'll make sure it works for the community, right? And so like that's another concern that's been heard. We're going to make sure it's part of the model to say how do we keep the school keep the school safe during it, but also make sure that we're doing that work too. So like. The kind of the threshold that we use as part of a criteria is distance to the school, and the normal is 200 meters. But we recognize that we want to make sure that the impact's not felt by a school. So we're going to make sure that outreach is part of it.
Especially for most people, I think most people, at least in their own sort of in thinking about it, like you said, people would like to help and want to be part of the solution. But I think that you will lose all of that goodwill and rationality the instant that there's a threat posed to your kids. Even indirectly. And it's such a huge weak point of this location. And I understand there were other locations there.
Yeah, we went through 26 with the municipality.
What was it that made this one specifically the best choice? If we know that,
I honestly directed towards the city because part of our work was saying, look, you guys know your communities. You guys know best. How do we find a settle on a site? And the other part too is like
I'm going to ask you to speak.
We're in the way. If you're
My name's Tim Walker.
Hey Tim.
Are we going to have a roundabout here? Are we going to talk?
David
Are we going to just
mentioned it. I mean, the hope was just to keep it informal, but with the amount of people here, it may be worth us asking questions. Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay. One question, right quick. The tiny homes, all people that's depressed, on drugs. Why right beside their neighbor is the PM Bridge? What's all that about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The PM Bridge, the Princess Margaret Bridge, that's their next door neighbor. Suicide. Is that the way the government save money?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Charles, we've seen is that I think the biggest thing, Charles, that we've seen is when you give people a home, you give them some hope.
Let's hear it!
What's the question? How New Brunswick is the lead on this project, charges and responsibility housing, so I would like to introduce Jonathan David Hickey.
Sure.
Minister from St. John.
Do you mind if we just turn this way? Okay. Good. Oh, sorry, Cindy.
I don't think you need a guard dog, do you?
No, I don't need a guide. I'm
Chair.
you'd like a chair?
Look, I want to thank you all for being here this evening. And thanks for taking the time out of your schedules and of your family schedules
Thank you.
to join us tonight. The intention of our, I should introduce myself. I know MLA Coon did, but my name's David Hickey. I'm the minister responsible for the New Brunswick Housing Corporation and an MLA from St. John. So, look, like I said, I want to thank you for being here this evening and take this opportunity to introduce myself, but also to introduce our project in partnership with Neighborly Homes down the street, as you all know the site very well. We wanted to use this opportunity to have a discussion with the community, make sure that you're familiar with the project that's intended for the site, and also get your feedback on it so that we know how we can make sure that it is going to work the best it can for your community.
How many kids do you have?
As we all know,
How many kids do you have?
just a second.
And how many of them go to school
Just-
200 meters from a homeless encampment?
Just 1 second. And if you really want that context, I live on Waterloo Street in St. John,
Where it's a red-green zone,
where
created red-green zone.
yeah, where
So these housings are not in your community, where you live.
3 doors down is a homeless shelter for my house. But anyway, look. We want to use this opportunity to make sure that we are going to come up with the best solution for this site in your community. Our effort has been to make sure you know our intentions, but also make sure that our project has the flexibility to hear your concerns and to be able to try and support as much as we can to make sure that those concerns are heard, are recognized, and that we're adapting accordingly. So